Good evening, everybody. I've come live. The energy at this time is extremely high. The Schumann resonance is kicking in very strongly at this time. Even myself, I've just been out shopping, and going out shopping, I'm still high. So if you're feeling such a high energy around here, around your head, especially on your crown chakra, it's all normal. The crown chakra and the third eye activations is very rampant today. So if you're feeling pressure on your crown and your third eye, it's absolutely normal. There's an awful lot of energy coming in from the galactic center today, and that's facilitating the very high frequency ascension energy. I'm actually coming in, I'm going to be doing some sharing some stuff from a cosmic nature. I'm going to speak a little bit about the history because I've been working very much with Horus over the recent days, but I have for the last year, at least the last year or two, been speaking about the asteroid belt that lies between Mars and Jupiter. I've shared quite a bit in channelings and previous lives. Sometimes I would say that certain things are happening. I've been conscious of aware, working with Ceres and some silent planets kicking in. So I'm going to speak from consciousness, but I'm also working, and I'm also connecting with my guide as well. There's been an awful lot coming in, certainly over recent weeks, and also I would say since the Mayan shift in 2012, an awful lot of cosmic and planetary shifts have taken place. Many of us are activating as galactic portals, so we will become aware of the planetary and star movements and so forth. Working very much with the zodiac and the astrology, the galactic frequencies as they're coming in. We're able to share any updates and so forth. This is a fundament of working as a galactic portal. So I'm going to share some stuff that I've received from my guides. There's so much stuff that's out there, but I'm going to share stuff that I've experienced from consciousness, and I'm going to be sharing certain perspectives, and also from what Horus has spoken to me in bits and pieces. I'm actually going to go back. There has been a massive history within the galactic spheres. Horus exists since the beginning. His energy and light works straight from the beginning. He's come to me. He's spoken to me about billions of years. So the energy that he works in is quite vast and it's quite historic. I have been made aware of they speak about 24,000 years ago, and it could well be a little bit longer than that. There was a galactic war and the planet Maldek was destroyed. It exploded. There was two planets that was affected within this galaxy. It was that and Tiamat. I'm going to speak very much about the Maldek, because the Maldek Maldek now is basically the asteroid belt that lies between Jupiter and Mars. And what actually happened in the build-up, there's a lot of history within this galaxy, but also in other galaxies as well. I'm going to speak a little bit about coming in from consciousness, because I'm going to bounce backwards and forwards a little bit. I've received some information about reptoids and dinoids. Reptoids and dinoids takes me back to the time of the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs they walked upon many planets, including this Gaia Earth as well, and certain reptoids. But these kind of energies came in not specifically from this particular galaxy. They come in from other galaxies. Then there was a massive shift. And an event, a cosmic event that wiped much of this energy out. So obviously we have some physical evidence of the dinosaurs walking this planet. So I'm just, as I say, I'm just bringing this energy in. Now, then there was a whole event that took place. We started transforming the galaxy. Maldek was a planet similar to the Earth. Maldek was a planet that was evolving and growing. And what Horace said to me, it was like the tongue, the golden tongue. It was evolving, growing, expanding. Just as we are today, we're evolving, growing and expanding. However, Maldek was also affected by a polarity shift, so we had the polarity shift affecting Maldek. As I'm now connecting, as I say, I'm doing a lot of conscious connection as well. As I'm connecting with that particular frequency and history, there was an infiltration of a lot of energies that are coming through from other galaxies at the time of the downfall. And I was also shown certain energies coming in from the Andromedan race and other galaxies as well, but I was being shown Andromedan. I was also shown conflict, massive conflict, but there was conflict between the Pleiadians. There was Pleiadians, Sirians, and these energies coming in. I saw attack on certain colonies within Sirius. Specifically Sirius B, I saw came under attack. Maldek, because it was evolving, growing, and so forth, got the blame. They got the blame. Certain civilizations within this galaxy got the blame. And the Pleiadians, Syrians, and certain other factions went in and attacked Maldek. There was also a civilization within Maldek that had grown and expanded. There was also some concerns with nuclear capability and so forth, because this civilization had expanded. So basically what I saw was an explosion, an attack and an explosion of this particular planet. What I'm actually also being shown at this time, because I've been working energetically within this this belt, And I've been doing this, sometimes I get doing this with Horus. We're actually going up and we're working within this belt. We're actually doing a transformation, and we're birthing anew. What I got from Horus as I was connecting up last night is that we are creating new planet. We are creating a new planet. A new planet is being birthed. There's going to be a massive shift. I've actually been shown a lot of activity taking place within the Orion belt. But I'm getting Orion belt, and I'm also getting the Maldek, and I'm getting the Asteroid belt. But what I'm also picking up within this particular energy is the masculine. And within this, it's like we are creating something new. And we're bringing in a new energy and light. But I'm getting very much masculine. And how it ties in with the masculine and the rise of the masculine and stuff like that. So there's so much coming in terms of how it replicates up to into the cosmic, but how it can affect us here on the earth. So I'm also being shown by Horus is that a good proportion of the souls that are on this earth, on this planet at this moment in time, actually come from the planet Maldek. They've had life forms, they've had life at Maldek, and it is an ancient planet. So many of us would have had some form of life in Maldek. We would have had transpired and had this kind of energy and light historically. So as that planet was rising and growing and evolving, having its own personal ascension process, that energy is now being transformed and transferred to this Gaia Earth. But what we're also getting now is that we're also building a new civilization. We're building a new planet. And this is something that's happening and being planned, and it's growing and expanding. I have recently connected, as I say, I'm also doing a lot of connection with certain moons around the cosmic sphere. I'm aware of 4 Galilean moons that serve the planet Jupiter. I connected with a couple of them because there's one particular one, Io. Io comes from the divine priesthood. It's a symbolization of the divine priesthood, but it's the moon that serves the innermost part of Jupiter. And has the code, certain codes certainly tied in with my particular date of birth, because I've got 28. I'm born on the 28th day of July 1969, equals 42/6. Certain codes assigned within its structure, within its light years and stuff like that, has 28, has 42, stuff like this. Now I'm working very closely with the Jupiter energy, and if you transfer the Jupiter energy over into mythology, into the ancient gods and goddesses, and the goddess energy aligns with Zeus, Jupiter, Hera, Juno, Ptah in Egypt, and Sekhmet in Egypt. So it actually aligns with that energy and vibration. I'm actually working in the Sekhmet energy. I often bring that energy into a lot of my work. So I'm actually bringing that energy and encodements in. So I'm actually working with the IO. There's another one I'm also working with is Europa. And so there are other moons like Ganymede, and there's another particular moon that serves Jupiter. There are 4 of them. There are some moons that are able to inhibit life form, and some moons that not able to inhibit life form because of the structure. Saturn and other planets also have moons. As I said in a previous live, Venus is the only one that doesn't have a moon because it's the closest one to the sun. So that's the only planet within this particular system that is not governed by moons. But what we've got now, as I'm going back to Maldek, is we are rebuilding this this divine planet. This divine planet was a planet that Horus has in many forms, many lifetimes, energetically worked with. Also, in his lifetime as Gaius Julius Caesar, on the day of the assassination of Gaius Julius Caesar, the comet, the Caesar's comet, came through and shone over Rome when he was assassinated as a sign. And this is historically been written. Gaius Julius Caesar also wrote about Maldek. He also, what Horus has told me is that particular comet comes in from the asteroid belt. So what we are looking at now is we're bringing that energy and light back to the forefront, to the hearts. We're aligning that energy to the rise of the divine masculine, because we are now working in the divine masculine, bringing in this energy and light and truth coming forth. So this is what's actually being, this is the energy that's coming into play at this time. It's a very, very strong energy. I know once that divine planet is sourced, seeded, ready to grow, ready to prosper, it will receive its moons back. The moons that have been currently aligned, there are 2 moons that are being currently aligned to Jupiter. It's been given to Jupiter for Jupiter's safekeeping, will be given back to this particular planet. So we are working at sourcing this energy, sourcing this planet. This is something that's on the cards on the creation table. It's about bringing that beautiful structure back. Nibiru. Nibiru is also another planet that has much. I'm going to speak about Nibiru. Nibiru has much distortions written about Nibiru, misunderstanding. Now, Nibiru is about death and rebirth. Nibiru has a representation of bringing in the end of things that no longer serve us. So technically, a lot of people think of Nibiru, Nibiru transitioning the Earth. Once it transitions the orbit of the Earth, it's going to be the end of times. It's not quite the case, because Nibiru is a planet of rebirth and renewal. It operates similar to that of the Sun. Many of us have seen the Nibiru planet in the horizon. It has orbited the Earth. It makes its yearly transition. And it does orbit the Earth as well. It orbits the Sun. Quite recently, it was sitting in between Sirius and Orion, in conjunction with Taurus I. So it is a planet of great mystery, a planet that people seem to have a fear of because of the distortion, because of the information that's out there. Again, it's a planet which I am aware that is tied in definitely with the Egyptian energy. It's worked with the Egyptians at the time. The Egyptians were working with this divine planet at the time of the rise of the Egyptian, the golden age of Egypt. They certainly was working with this particular planet. I am aware that Heru and Sekhmet oversee this particular planet in other forms as well. I'm aware that Nibiru has healing chambers. I have been, as I'm been working with Nibiru, I have been made aware of Egyptian presence when I've connected up to the Nibiru planet. There you might get Egyptian, very Egyptian presence, because it works very much within that energy. There is, as I'm connecting with Egypt, a portal that's within Edfu, which I'm fully aware of. This particular portal is due to have a recollaboration of energy. We are working with the transmutation of the old Atlantean energy and bringing in new wave of golden light. It is a portal that's highly protected. There's certain things that have come through. It is a portal that connects with the Atlantean energy, but something that we are shifting some of the old karmic energies that were transferred from the Atlantean times, from the fall of Atlantis. So we are working with some of the karma. We are also at galactic level. We are also working with the karma coming in from the galactic wars. I want to strictly and strongly say, and this is coming in from Horus, that no galactic nation is leading the Ascension process. It is a collaboration of all galactic nations working under the framework of the Confederation of Planets and the Galactic Federation of Lights and other etheric councils of lights, such as the Council of the 4 and 20 Elders and various light councils. So no particular nation, galactic nation, star nation is taking a lead. It is a collaboration of all nations. We are working with different constellations to transmute and to assist with the ascension process. Some constellations are struggling, and some of them are advancing. It is similar to that as human condition. Everyone is at their own different levels, but it doesn't matter what level that you are at in your growth and your expansion. Everyone has a part to play, and this is how it is viewed from the higher lights, and it's how we view from higher light. When I'm working at higher light, this is how we view the different constellations, planets and so forth. It's like we are working now with the structure of the earth, The Earth as a planet is at 5D. We are working at shifting the planet into a higher frequency now, up to 6th and 7th. This will have an impact on the energy and light. We are hoping that this will shift a lot further humanity. Humanity as a whole is shifting, but there is still an awful lot of work to do. The polarity is integrating slowly, but it's not going to be eradicated fully, unfortunately, because we are working with the polarity of masculine and feminine. So a lot of the theories and universal laws are still having a part to play within the structure. However, when we are looking at polarity as individuals and as a collective, what we're looking at is to integrate the polarity, to understand the polarity game, to understand that in order for us to integrate and shift polarity, it's not difficult at all, because everything comes from the heart space. So when we are connected with our twin ray, twin flame, masculine or feminine, or whatever gender that we are in this cycle, you know, our counterpart, we are working to shift polarity. I know with my twin both, it's kind of interesting because I'm working with my twin in spirit. I'm also aware of my twin on the earth, and we are in direct polarity. So I'm 42.6, he's 24.6. He's 6'5", I'm 5'6". We both have had our right kidneys out. We're both on the kind of the opposite side of the earth. It's kind of weird. I'm also mastering, which I've also mastered, because I'm mastered spirit over matter as well. This is another mastery, because what I've also had to learn as individuals, that we are multi-dimensional beings. Horus is working as multi-dimensional. So I have been working with Horus spirit guide a lot longer than I've met my twin on the earth. So it's been a bit mind-blowing. So yes, I work in a polarity, integration, understanding all areas of the dynamics of the polarity game. And that is something that strongly, for some of us, have signed that deal. Certainly those who have come from the Syrian Orion collective, they would have had some form of polarity, because it's the polarity mastery encodements that they would have had to, that they've signed the deal prior to incarnation. So there's a lot of that comes into encodements along with other agreements that we have endorsed as we've come down to the earth prior to incarnation. How we master it is down to us, but the polarity game becomes easy if you're working from the flow of the heart. This is something that is also affected the Maldek planet as well. Maldek was also affected by the universal laws, and all planets are to a certain degree depending on the dimension and frequency that they're in. Universal laws and keys are there to serve the understanding of those working at a lower density frequency because it is there to help us to understand the shifts within the universe, the cosmoverse, how we are able to access things like abundance and attraction and so forth. So we're able to access that. I'm actually going to have a little bit of a chat about a law of abundance and law of attraction, because this topic is not widely spoken these days within the light worker field, and we must try and tap in to the law of abundance and law of attraction, and to understand how the universe works and how it can help us and aid us within our ascension, our personal ascension. So if we work and understand the abundance, what is abundance for us? Abundance is spiritual, it's energy. It can also be for many people, the abundance could be in terms of happiness, in love, in joy. It could be monetary as well. And it's about reaching out to the qualities. And I often speak about the qualities. Connection with the qualities, connection and being able to reap the rewards, because the more that we tap into the positives, we're able to manifest a lot more of it. The law of attraction. What happens with the law of attraction? We become abundant. We become abundant in the areas of love and light and healing and you know, our spirituality and how we are, how we come across. So as we are evolving that love, light and healing, we are attracting more. We attract more. People become attracted to our light. People become attracted to, and we're also you know, we're also making connections as well. So we are technically manifesting, and the word is manifesting, because the more that we're connecting up with the energy of the universe and what it has to offer, we can reap so much reward. It is the law of cause and effect, the law of cause and effect. So technically, a lot of people, and I have had some light workers say to me, when is the law of karma going to end? I said, why would you want the law of karma to end? Because the law of karma can serve you a higher good. But why? Why? People think karma is a negative thing, and it's not. This is how karma works. If you radiate love out, and you go out and you help that person up the street, and you go and visit a loved one in hospital, or you're helping someone to make that transition over into the spirit world, that karma is good karma. So that comes back on you threefold. This love, this light, everything that you're generating comes back to you threefold. So you are reaping and creating a good karma. That helps you in your ascension process. So it is very important that you understand that the universal laws are not here to hinder us, but are there to help us to expand and to grow and to evolve. And again, the law of polarity. Yes, I've had that dumped on me, big time. It's not a hindrance, because working from the heart and understanding that polarity, we become masters. Another polarity is light and dark. What do we perceive of dark? Do we perceive it as a negative force? How do we perceive our shadows and our lessons and our challenges? Do we perceive that those dark areas that we've experienced in our lives, something that's negative, ugly and evil? Or do we perceive it as challenges to help us to grow, to evolve, to expand, to use that as tools to help other people? Because really, in this system of worlds, as we go into higher light, everything is seen. Everything is seen from the higher light as growth, as evolution, expansion. So, to be a light worker is to understand the great polarity. Back in ancient Egypt, we called it the Jedi. And the Jedi understood the dark and the light. So yes, we do have good and bad. We have dark and light, male and female, happy and sad, all the opposites that you want to call it. But we have to understand and we have to master these opposites. And in order for us to do that, we're shifting and we're growing and we're expanding. So there, I want to leave that with you in terms of understanding the universal laws. And to understand that universal laws are there to help us to grow and to expand and so forth. So coming back to Maldek. Maldek was a planet that was expanding through its growth. It was expanding just the way this planet Earth is expanding now. But what we need to do is we need to learn the lessons that we don't land up being like Maldek, but to be stronger. Because Maldek is rising now. The energy of Maldek is rising because it was the planet and is the planet of unconditional truth. If you look at Maldek and you look at the ancient alchemy and what the ancient texts say, going back into ancient times, some will call it the golden tongue, some will call it the unconditional truth, some will speak, as I say, some will speak of good, some people speak negative of it, but that's a polarity again. When we are speaking negative about planets, star nations, people, situations, are we speaking from the heart? Or are we speaking from the consciousness of separation? That's the thing to ask. because in order for us to ascend and grow, we have to eradicate separation consciousness. We have to see that we are able to shift and grow and expand, because nothing comes from the space of ego, but we must aim to come from a space of higher light. This is the true fundament of working in the ascension process, to work from the heart, to work from the light, to work from the voice of truth and purity. So as we are going into this greater understanding, we are able to evolve and grow. Today is a beautiful day. The energy is strong. The energy is radiant. There is certain shifts happening as I'm picking up. There is an expansion going on. There are some silent planets that lie within this asteroid belt. And these planets are now going to come to light. I also feel an expansion of Ceres. Ceres is also a planet that's expanding. That is also going to come to the forefront. There is, we are working with a Pluto. Pluto at the moment. Pluto is a planet of great chaos. It's always seen as a planet of chaos. Often aligned with the god Set. But we are working with that. And again, Pluto. If you look at Pluto, we have to have a planet that gives us balance within the universe. As we are looking at the chaos and the shadows and so forth, and for that has beset us in this lifetime and in other lifetimes that we're aware of, say thank you, thank you, thank you. You have given me great strength. You have helped me to evolve and to grow. I give gratitude to you. Now you must go upon your way. I know you no longer serve my ascension and growth. I have got to where I need to be. And this is what I need to say. This is what I need to guide you to say to your shadows. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You have got me so far. You've helped me to expand and to grow. You've now you need to go along your way. So this is something about releasing your shadows. As we are also doing that, we come also to look at soul contracts. Soul contracts that no longer serve us. Often or not, we enter into contracts, and we can also do that subconsciously and without even us being aware. Often or not, that happens when we're entering into karmic situations. As we're doing that, again, thank you, thank you, thank you. You have helped me to expand and to grow. You now no longer serve me and my purpose. I now send you on your way. This contract is now rescinded, and it's now healed, and I now need to move forth. So I'm now helping you all, dear ones, to release, to heal your shadows, to release, to heal and to rescind any contracts that no longer serve you, as we are now entering into higher light. So I'm going to leave this with you. I send you lots and lots of love and healing and encouragement and empowerment. It is important that you are empowered. Spirit come through this day, and Horus, I'm hearing it from Horus. Trust and have faith. Trust and have faith. For all will be well. Things come in all good time. I'm going to leave that with you. Lots of love and blessings to you all. And before I leave, I always have to say, as we are in this sacred space of love, light and healing, I send forth healing out to the ends of the earth, to the templates that are in need of it at this time, to those who are in need of healing and grace, to those who are in hospital, to those who are in care, who are ill and frail and injured, to those who are homeless and hungry, to those who have no one to care for them, to those who are affected by warfare, conflict and natural disaster. I send love, light and healing out to you all. God bless you all. Love you all. And I'll speak to you all soon. God bless.